네, 방금 전에 소개해드렸던 핵심 문장과 관련된 이야기가 준비되어 있습니다. 기대가 되시죠? 오늘은 누가 이야기를 해주시나요?
So today we have a clip sent to us from Sophie from Australia.
That's right. 소피 씨에게 이야기를 들어보겠습니다. 뭐 뉴스에 대해서 기본적으로 어떤 생각을 가지고 있는지 소피 씨가 이야기를 해줄 텐데 주의하실 점은 말이 좀 빠르게 지나갈 거예요. 네, 집중을 많이 해주셔야 됩니다. You need to focus. Focus.
All right, let's focus hard together. Shall we call her out?
All right, let's do that.
Sophie 씨,
나와주세요.
Despite increased competition amongst media and the new dominance of the internet, it seems harder than ever to access reliable and unbiased news. In Australia, TV news programs continue to soften the boundary between news and opinion, with presenters often invited to give their own opinions on a story. And the limited number of media moguls in charge of the broadcasters and newspapers make their own political opinions and biases extremely clear through their editorial decisions. We're lucky in that we have one reliably balanced, government-funded yet completely independent broadcaster. So if I want to watch TV news, it's usually on that channel.
You know what, Megan?
What?
As a non-native speaker, I wish I could talk like this.
Why?
그냥
With an Australian accent, you mean?
호주 억양으로 말을 하고 싶다는 것이 아니고요.
Oh, I was like,
문장 이렇게 이제 문장들이 멋지잖아요.
Yeah.
네, 이거는 정말로 텍스트로 써놓고 공부를 해도 좋은 문장들이고 이렇게 듣고 공부하기도 좋은 문장들인 것 같은데 소피 씨가 그래서
true.
정말 말을 잘하시는 것 같아요.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think she's very well spoken.
Yes, very
You know,
well spoken.
I'm jealous of your Korean skills as well. I mean, I wish I could talk like you, but
Yes.
with a higher pitched voice.
I'm very well spoken in Korean, I think.
Yeah.
But not as well spoken in English as you or Sophie. But anyway, that's besides the point. So, 자 그러면 소피 씨가 저는 개인적으로 지금 특히 오늘 했던 이야기에 쓰인 문장들이 멋진 것 같은데 어떤 이야기들을 했는지 한 줄 한 줄 공부해 보겠습니다.
Okay, so let's start with the very first sentence,
All right.
which is, despite increased competition amongst media and the new dominance of the internet, one more time, despite increased competition amongst media and the new dominance of the internet,
Despite이라고 하면 뭐뭐에도 불구하고라는 말이죠. 뭐뭐가 있지만 in spite of, in spite 할 때는 of를 써야 되고 despite는 뒤에 of가 안 붙습니다. 여러분 많이 배워보셨죠? 그래서 increased competition amongst media, 매체들 간의 경쟁이 증가함에도 불구하고 그리고 또 뭐 함에도 불구하고냐 하면 dominance of the internet, 인터넷이 dominating the world.
yes, for sure.
네.
Most people use the internet more than they watch TV maybe now these days.
그렇죠. 네.
Yeah.
텔레비전보다 인터넷을 더 많이 쓰는 사람들이 더 많은 것 같은데
Yeah.
그래서 인터넷이 dominate하고 있다라는 말은 뭐 물론 사전에서 보시면 지배하다, 군림하다이지만 그런 뜻보다는 이제 정말로 널리 퍼져 있다. It's
Yeah,
everywhere.
it means it's everywhere. So certain trends can dominate, you know, a certain country or, you know, even the world.
네.
Yeah.
But she said the new dominance of the internet because it happened recently.
It's
Like,
very recently.
Yeah.
I mean, considering how long humans have been around.
그렇죠. 인류 역사상 이제 물론 new dominance이고요.
Yeah.
뭐 최근 뭐
20?
10년, 20년
Yeah.
정도 됐잖아요.
Yeah.
인터넷이 이렇게 널리 퍼진지. 그래서 new dominance 이런 표현도 영어식 이렇게 명사화된 표현 재미있는 것 같아요. 네, 한국어로는 최근 들어 인터넷이 널리 퍼지고 이렇게 좀 동사 형태로 많이 표현이 되는 경우인데
Right.
여기서는 the new dominance of the internet이라고 했습니다. And then
It seems harder than ever to access reliable and unbiased news. It seems harder than ever to access reliable and unbiased news.
네, 여기에서 오늘의 핵심 문장이 들어있죠. 그래서 despite 앞에 나왔던 내용 기억하신다면 매체 간의 경쟁도 있으니까 더 잘하려고 할 거고
Right.
그다음에 인터넷이 많이 퍼져 있지만
Right.
it seems 뭐뭐해 보인다. It looks or it seems like
Or it feels like.
it feels like I think 이런 말이죠. 그래서 뭐뭐 하는 것 같다. harder than ever 그 어느 때보다 더 어려워 보인다. to access reliable 믿을 만한 신뢰할 만한 그리고 unbiased 아까 소개했었죠. 편파적이지 않은 뉴스를 찾기가 harder than ever
Right?
or harder than ever before.
I think so as well.
저도 뭐 이 문장을 보고 그런가 하고 많이 생각을 하게
Yeah.
됐어요. Yeah. What do you think?
I don't know. I think it's definitely true, especially because with the internet, news places are free to share their own opinions. They're
That's
not
right.
bound by any like TV network, you know, requirements.
Yeah. So you cannot actually believe everything you read on the internet.
Right. I was just about to say these days there are a lot of hoaxes,
맞아요.
a lot of fake news.
맞아요. 게다가 이제 가짜 뉴스 사이트로 유명한 곳들이 몇 군데 있거든요. 그래서 이제 특히 이제 미국 쪽에 딱 사람들이 여기는 가짜 뉴스를 올리는 곳이라고 알고 있는 곳들이 있는데 그런 경우에는 사람들이 알고 들어가니까 상관이 없잖아요. 그런데 그 뉴스가 다른 곳으로 공유가 되었을 때 그 사이트를 모르는 사람들은 people who don't know that this website is famous for fake news,
things.
they will actually believe the story. 정말로 믿어버리게 되니까 그게 좀 가끔씩 혼선을 주는 것 같습니다. Alright, so let's talk about Australia.
All right. So in Australia, TV news programs continue to soften. In Australia, TV news programs continue to soften.
호주에서는 TV 뉴스 프로그램들이 continue to soften. Soften 또는 soften.
Soften, yeah.
Do you say soften?
I
or
usually
soften?
say soften, but I was like, for the show, maybe I should say soften for now.
네,
But usually I'm soften.
soften. 네.
Soften, with my accent.
soften이라고 발음하는 사람도 많고요. soften이라고 발음하는 사람도 많습니다. 저는 soften을 더 많이 들어본 것 같아요.
Yeah, it's more easy to say, soften, soften.
네, T가 있지만 발음이 안 되는 경우도 많고요. 그래서 계속해서 soften, 부드럽게 만든다라는 말인데 왜 여기서 약하게 한다라고 하는지 그 다음 문장을 보시면 알 수 있습니다.
Right. The boundary between news and opinion. The boundary between news and opinion.
뉴스와 opinion, 의견 간의 boundary.
Yeah.
네, the border, right?
The border.
네.
So the line. Usually we'll say the line
그렇죠.
between so and so and so and so. That's what we use most commonly is the line.
맞아요.
But they're all okay. Boundary,
boundary,
border.
boundary는 경계, border, 경계 또는 뭐 국경을 가리킬 수도 있겠고 또는 뭐 가장자리, line. 선이죠.
Line,
그래서
yeah.
이 뉴스와 즉 fact, 사실이죠. fact, 사실들과 opinion의 그 경계를 soften, 더 부드럽게 한다는 거는
Right.
it's not so clear.
Right. It's not so black and white.
That's right. 네, 그래서 딱 흑백으로 나뉘지 않는다라는 이야기가 여기에 나오는 거고요. And then,
And so for the next sentence, we're going to first take a look at the clip.
okay.
With presenters often invited to give their own opinions on a story. With presenters often invited to give their own opinions on a story.
조금 전체적으로 빠르게 지나갔죠? 내용 파악해 보겠습니다.
With presenters often invited to give their own opinions on a story.
네. With presenters often invited 이 부분이 쭉 지나가서 문장 구조가 파악이 좀 어려울 수 있는데 다시 한번 읽어주시죠. 빠르게.
With presenters often invited to give their own opinions on a story.
네. 그 문장 구조를 보자면 어떤 상황이 발생했다 말한 다음에 with A being B or with A doing B 이런 형태로 많이 쓰이잖아요. 여기서는 with A invited. 그래서 프레젠터들, 즉 진행자들, 뉴스에 나와서 말을 하는 사람들이죠. 그 사람들이 often invited to, invite는 초대하다인데 여기서는 진짜로 우리 집에 오세요, please come over to my house 이런 거 아니죠.
It doesn't mean that. It means that you're allowed to. So in certain cases, if you're invited to do something, it just means you're allowed to.
That's right. Megan, you're invited to explain things on the show.
Well, yes, I try and do that as often as possible.
Yeah, you are already doing it now.
I am.
네. And you're invited to, well, be nice to me, okay?
Okay, I won't accept that invitation. However,
초대를
you
거절한다.
should accept your invitation to be nice to me.
Okay.
You're definitely invited to buy me things.
All right, I will accept that invitation and be nice to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, although you're not. 그래서 invite는 초대하다라는 뜻이지만 여기서는 초대가 아니고요. 이제 그렇게 해도 된다라는 뜻입니다. Invited to give their own opinions on a story. 뉴스 진행자들이 뉴스를 전달하면서 on a story, 그 이야기에 대해서 자신의 의견을 추가하도록 하는 경우가 많이 있다라는 거죠. Alright, let's listen to this part two more times.
With presenters often invited to give their own opinions on a story. With presenters often invited to give their own opinions on a story.
Okay, the next one is, and the limited number of media moguls. And the limited number of media moguls.
And the limited number of, 물론 이것을 번역을 두 가지로 할 수 있겠는데 뭐뭐의 제한된 숫자라고 말할 수도 있겠고
Right.
아니면 몇 안 되는
Right.
not many.
Yeah, in this case, she means not many.
맞아요.
Because there aren't many media moguls.
The limited number of students is being a problem 이렇게 말할 때에는 이제 다른 이야기이고 여기서는 the limited number of students helped so and so.
So and so, right.
몇 안 되는 이라는 말로 쓰였습니다. 몇 안 되는 언론계 media moguls. Media moguls. What kind of other moguls can there be?
Well, you can just be a mogul, like in
Yeah.
a business mogul.
That's right.
I think that's the most commonly used expression for
네,
that.
사업계에서 거물이 될 수 있겠죠. Business mogul,
Yeah, I've heard of film moguls.
film mogul, 영화계 거장.
Yeah, basically anything that you could like do well and be at the top of the game,
That's right.
you can be considered a mogul.
네, 그래서 여기에서는 언론계의 거물들입니다. 그래서 몇 안 되는 거물들이 어떤 거물들이죠?
In charge of the broadcasters and newspapers. In charge of the broadcasters and newspapers.
그런데 which are or who are in charge of the broadcasters 방송하는 사람들을 말하는 것보다는 방송국이죠.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we could be, I guess, categorized as
As
broadcasters,
broadcasters.
but here the broadcasters are.
The actual companies that do the broadcast.
That's right, including EBS.
Right.
네.
So we are broadcasters, but you would consider EBS to be one of the broadcasters because
맞아요.
they are the company.
네,
Yeah.
사람을 가리키는 broadcaster인지 방송국을 가리키는 broadcaster인지 구분을 하셔야 되는데 비슷한 게 또 publisher가 있어요.
Oh yeah.
publisher라고 하면은 출판인도 되고 출판사도 되는 거죠.
That's right.
오케이. 그리고 newspapers, 방송국과 신문, 여기서도 마찬가지로 신문이라기보다는 신문사를
Right.
회사 말하는 거죠. 신문사를 담당하고 있는 이 언론계의 거물들이 what do they do?
Make their own political opinions and biases extremely clear.
네.
Make their own political opinions and biases extremely clear.
네, 자신들의 their own political opinions, 정치적인 의견과 biases, 성향들을 편견이라고 할 수도 있겠지만 여기서는 성향입니다. 의견이 이쪽으로 기운다라는 거죠. Extremely clear, 아주 분명하게 표현을 한답니다.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
I mean, they won't just say so-and-so is happening. They're like, we can't believe something like this, you
Yeah.
know, would happen.
Yeah.
And you can see, like, their like facial expressions.
That's right.
They're clearly not, you know,
Yeah.
liking this. And the angle that they write it at is always biased.
And this is quite common around the world, like
Yeah.
in most countries. So you look at the headlines of this newspaper and look at the headlines of that newspaper. You compare them, and they're talking about totally different things or totally different aspects of the same thing. 그렇기 때문에 이제 이렇게 의견과 성향을 이 언론계 거물들이 표현을 하기 때문에 아까 말했던 unbiased opinion, unbiased news를 찾기가 어렵다는 거죠. And what do they do it through?
Through their editorial decisions.
그렇죠.
Through their editorial decisions.
네, editorial 이것은 이제 edit과 관련된 거죠. They-
It's related to edit. So editorial decisions, you know, how they edit, you know, the words that they're saying.
맞아요.
You know, how they write the title.
네.
Those type of things.
네, 뉴스 편집 또는 편성이죠. 이것에 대한 결정을 통해서 이 기사를 앞에 올리고 이 기사에서 이 내용 빼고 이런 결정들을 통해서 자신들의 의견과 성향을 아주 분명하게, extremely clear하게 만든다는 이야기였습니다. 문장이 좀 길었는데요. 다음 문장.
So the next one has some parts that could be difficult to understand. So let's take a look at the clip.
We're lucky in that we have one reliably balanced, government-funded yet completely independent broadcaster. We're lucky in that we have one reliably balanced, government-funded yet completely independent broadcaster.
All right.
Wow, that sentence was a mouthful.
So let's cut it in half.
Okay, so we're going to cut it in half, and let me first read the first half for
Okay.
you. Okay. We're lucky in that we have. We're lucky in that we have.
여기에서 발음을 먼저 보자면 we're lucky in that이라고 강하게 발음을 하는 경우보다는 in that.
In that. We're
In-
lucky in that we have, because it's not that important. Like, we know lucky, but you want to hear what you have, so you just kind of skip over that.
맞아요. 일단 lucky가 중요하고 그 다음에 나오는 내용이 또 중요하기 때문에 그 중간에 끼어 있는 문장 구조상 필요는 하지만 꼭 강조는 할 필요 없는 이
Yeah.
in that이 발음이 soften.
Yeah. We soften the bottom.
네, 맞아요.
Pronunciation.
네, 아까 나왔던 soften 또는 soften 기억하시죠?
Uh-huh.
The pronunciation is softened. 그래서 we're lucky in that. in that이라는 것은 뭐뭐라는 점에서라는 구조예요. It's good in that, we're happy in that, we're lucky in that 이런 형태인데 무엇을 가지고 있다라는 점에서 우리는 운이 좋다라고 이야기를 했고요. What do they have?
One reliably balanced, government-funded yet completely independent broadcaster. One reliably balanced, government-funded yet completely independent broadcaster.
네, one broadcaster. 문장의 앞 앞에 나와 있는 첫
Right.
단어, 그 다음에 맨 마지막 단어를 보시면 이게
Right.
구조예요. One broadcaster.
One broadcaster.
What kind of broadcaster? 어떤 방송국이냐 하면요. 중간에 reliably balanced, government funded, yet completely independent. 세 가지의 특징을 앞에 다 넣어놓은 거예요. 그래서 첫 번째 특징은 reliably balanced. 이제 믿을만하게 균형 잡힌, 즉 확실히 균형 잡힌 거. 그죠? 이제 어떨 때는 균형 잡혔다가, 어떨 때는 안 잡혔다가 이것이 아니고요.
Right.
It's reliably balanced.
It's reliably balanced,
Yeah.
right?
You can rely on it to be balanced
Yeah,
all the time.
and I think in this case she's meaning like not being more on the biased side, but in the middle line.
그렇죠.
Yeah.
또 그런 의미로도, 그러니까 균형이 항상 잡혀 있다라는 말도 될 수 있겠고, 확실히 딱 중도를 지킨다라는 말도 됩니다. Government funded, 정부에서 자금을 받아서 운영이 되면서 또 yet 그러면서도 그런 말이죠. but하고 비슷한 거죠.
Yes.
네, completely independent, 완전히 독립적인 방송국이 한 곳이 있대요.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's actually quite difficult to have something like this.
Right? Especially things that are government funded. The government often controls, you know, how
Yeah.
things should be.
Yeah. So it's very difficult for anything to be government funded and completely independent.
Right.
But it's there, so that's
It's
why
there.
Sophie is saying they're lucky to have it. Yeah.
They're lucky to have that one because it's a rarity.
맞아요.
Something you rarely see.
Yeah, in any country, it can be a rarity. So, shall we take another look at this part?
All right.
We're lucky in that we have one reliably balanced, government-funded yet completely independent broadcaster. We're lucky in that we have one reliably balanced, government-funded yet completely independent broadcaster.
Okay, and the final sentence is, so if I want to watch TV news, it's usually on that channel. So if I want to watch TV news, it's usually on that channel.
네, 그래서 제가 TV 뉴스를 보고 싶을 때에는 주로 그 채널에서 봅니다. It's usually on that channel이란 말은 뭐, so if I want to watch TV news, oh, it's there. 이런 느낌보다는 it is on that channel that I watch the news.
Right, the channel that she wants to watch, the one we talked about before.
That's right. 예. 자, 그래서 여기까지 한번 이야기를 파악을 해봤고요. 소피 씨의 이야기 어렵지는 않았나요? 네. 문장들은 굉장히 재미있었어요.
Yeah, I really like the way she forms her like sentences.
I think I'm very biased about Sophie's sentences.
You are?
Yes,
What makes you biased about them?
because I like the sentences.
Well, okay, I guess.
Yeah, bias를 한번 써봤어요. All right, so that's it for Sophie's story. We're going to wrap up by listening to our story 2 more times, right?
Right, the first time with English subtitles and the second time without. So make sure you keep your ears open. Let's watch.
Despite increased competition amongst media and the new dominance of the internet, it seems harder than ever to access reliable and unbiased news. In Australia, TV news programs continue to soften the boundary between news and opinion, with presenters often invited to give their own opinions on a story. And the limited number of media moguls in charge of the broadcasters and newspapers make their own political opinions and biases extremely clear through their editorial decisions. We're lucky in that we have one reliably balanced, government-funded yet completely independent broadcaster. So if I want to watch TV news, it's usually on that channel. Despite increased competition amongst media and the new dominance of the internet, it seems harder than ever to access reliable and unbiased news. In Australia, TV news programs continue to soften the boundary between news and opinion, with presenters often invited to give their own opinions on a story. And the limited number of media moguls in charge of the broadcasters and newspapers make their own political opinions and biases extremely clear through their editorial decisions. We're lucky in that we have one reliably balanced, government-funded yet completely independent broadcaster. So if I want to watch TV news, it's usually on that channel.
네, 소피 씨의 이야기를 2번 듣고 왔고요. 이제는 또 재미있는 표현들을 배우러 가볼까요?
Okay, it's time for Street
Smart